Hey, beautiful creatives, welcome to Life I Designed, the podcast. Thanks for joining me, your host, Nicki Traikos. I'm an artist, letterer, instructor, and creative business owner. I started and built Life I Designed from home while raising a family and learning how to juggle it all. This podcast is my way of pulling back the curtain and inviting you to step into my home studio so we can get candid about all things art, business, and life so I can help you create a life that you design. This is an episode that I am really interested in chatting with you about. This episode's topic is one that I was going to talk about further into the show, but last week's episode around my top watercolor tips made me want to record this one sooner rather than later. Let me give you a little bit of backstory. I enjoyed going to school, and I enjoyed learning. I didn't like tests or exams, and I did okay. I was an average student who easily, without a lot of effort, did okay in school. I got by. I wasn't a passionate learner, but I was a conscientious student. We won't even mention math though, because me and math, we didn't get along. As long as I can count money and understand my expenses and know how to budget, I've gotten along quite well in this world without knowing sine, cos, and tan. Do you feel me? So learning for me comes with a little bit of effort and focus. Some people have a way with reading text and understanding it and memorizing it. Others, maybe like me, do better when I can visualize what I'm learning and I have that information stick in a more visual way. And if you listen to my story back in episode 1, you know that I should have gone to art or design school, not university. But I really feel like my adult life would have looked a lot different. I have no regrets. I enjoyed the journey and how I got to where I am today. I think it actually makes me appreciate my art practice even more. But the one thing I do to this day is I still learn. I actually never stop learning. Surprisingly, I actually realized that I love learning. I just need to learn about things that I'm passionate about. They all have to do with things like art, of course, business for sure, a lot of personal development, how to be naturally healthy and eat really well, healthy foods, spirituality even. I have a big general list of interest, and I realize I actually never stop learning. So this episode here, episode number 8, is all about my views and ideas around learning, and hopefully it'll inspire you to be more curious and to follow some passions and maybe learn something new. Let's get started, shall we? So I have to start by letting you know that I'm an avid reader. I research a lot. I read a lot. I actually really love research. When I discovered I was pregnant, for instance, I bought books and I read articles and I researched and I asked questions. When my son was born, it became parenting books that I was devouring, more articles and more research. When I was learning about adopting a healthier lifestyle, I read, I joined conferences even, and I bought more books. When I wanted to learn about makeup, I took a class at my local college. I bought books. I went to classes offered by makeup companies. I hired other makeup artists who I respected and admired to do private lessons with me. Guys, this is way before online classes. So I was trying to figure out how I could learn. I wanted to learn about how to do airbrush makeup. So I researched and I found a place in the city and I booked a private lesson. That makeup artist who actually taught me that lesson, her and I became fast friends and we even started to work together. So when I was looking for ways to learn, whatever it was that caught my attention, I opened myself up. I opened myself up to reading books, taking classes, going to workshops, even conferences. I wanted to devour information and I wanted to learn as much as I could about whatever it was, again, that passion that was just burning. When you open yourself up to learning, you not only grow, but you expand your depth, your skills, your knowledge. And you know what? You get to meet some amazing people along the way. Okay. So this episode is really just sharing with you how I'm a lifelong learner and why today is the best time for you to learn something new or to deepen your knowledge in an area that speaks to you. As you probably guessed by now, but I really do love learning new things, especially if it's art related. Of course, if it's art related. But in this day and age, there's so many different opportunities for you to learn and explore and be efficient with it. Okay, so let me explain. So listening to podcasts is actually a really good example. I love listening to podcasts. I feel like you're able to tune into a podcast where an expert, hopefully they're an expert, is sharing their experience, their knowledge, their talent to help you learn and grow, giving you takeaways to think about, things to explore more of, and even ways to implement these ideas into your own journey. So I feel like it's a lot like being at a lecture or a conference, right? Instead, you don't have to leave the house. Maybe you're even listening on your morning walk or your morning commute. But the amazing thing is, we have conference like experiences, learning and exploring any topic that may be of interest to us. And maybe that podcast episode brought you to some additional research online, and that research led you to an online book that you bought and devoured. And maybe that book led you to an online course where you could specifically grow your knowledge in that area. So let me give you a personal example here. I wanted to learn how to create a website on WordPress so I could blog, host my art, and sell my art when I was looking to start Li-Fi design. So I took an online class that was an intro level. It gave me enough knowledge to get my site all up and running, have it look pretty and functional, and then I wanted a bit more in-depth knowledge. So if I decided to go the local college route, it probably would have taken me 3 years and thousands of dollars to complete just that part of building my website. But instead, I took an online class that was probably a fraction of the cost. I don't even remember how much it cost at that time, but I was able to do it in a few weeks. I learned very specific skills that I needed to get my website up and running. Then, when I wanted the graphics to look a little bit more polished and stylized, I read a book and invested in another course. So I'm just growing the depth of my knowledge. So scratch the surface, get as much information as you can to see really how far you want to go with that level of knowledge. So once I invested in another course, I realized I needed to learn Adobe Illustrator and found Skillshare, where I became a member, and literally every topic that I wanted to learn was at my fingertips. I found that site years ago by research and exploring as I was learning and growing, and wanted to really build my graphic design and even how to figure out how to digitize my art and create those additional income streams that I had read about. So now the best part's coming up. When I was just starting Li-Fi design, I needed to learn a lot, and I needed to learn it fast. And I needed to make sure I could learn it as affordably as possible. So before taking that initial WordPress course, I called my local college and private institutes and inquired about how I could learn WordPress and graphic design, like I mentioned. So that cost was going to be at least 10 times more, and it was going to be years versus weeks. And I was like, no, thank you. So in this day and age of technology, I just want to really express how much you can learn from various experts and just about in any topic. Now, mind you, I'm not referring to big things like how to be a plastic surgeon. That would be kind of scary, actually. But I want you to think about things like starting a website, or how to reframe your mindset, or how to take beautiful photos with your DSLR kind of skills, right? So things that are hobbies that maybe turn into something you're more passionate about, that could lead into something that maybe be career changing or life changing even. So again, in this day and age with technology and all of the amazing options we have at our fingertips, there are some easy and quick and affordable ways that you can continue to learn and grow. Before I list them, I want to tell you something. Some of my best students are in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s. Okay, gone are the days when you may be intimidated to take a class at your local college or maybe art studio because you are a lot older than the current student population. Heck, one of my best girlfriends just went back to university to do her master's, and she's in her late 40s. Another one of my girlfriends is studying herbalism and its medicinal properties, and she's looking at a total career change. She's in her 30s. Now's the time, the age that you are at right now, today. You are never too young. You are never too old. Now is the time. Okay, preaching's over. Just don't wait. That's all I'm trying to say. If you are interested in something, if you are passionate about something, if there is a topic that is calling to you again and again, dive into it. Find ways that you can dive into it and never stop learning. Okay? I'm going to give you three of my favorite ways to learn, and three of my favorite things to invest in time-wise energy-wise, and even financially. Okay. So podcasts like this one, find a podcast or 12 if you're anything like me. Oh my gosh, I listen to so many of them. Listen to the experts. Listen to what books they're recommending. Listen to who they're interviewing. Listen to what they're sharing. Listen to their personal experiences. Okay. Have them be the testers and the experts and let them direct you. Okay. So use podcasts. I listen to podcasts when I'm out for a walk, when I'm unloading the dishwasher, when I'm sitting at my desk painting sometimes. So find some podcasts that you love and share them. Okay. Start diving into topics that speak to you. Number two, I am never short of books. I have books all around me, all around the house that are halfway started, just started. I've read them and probably reread them a second time. On a side note, I'm going to have an episode where I do a little creative book club. Okay, so I'm going to share some of the books that have literally changed my life and ones that I highly recommend you pick up. Okay, so again, pick a topic. What's speaking to you? Are you interested in gardening? Are you looking at maybe building your photography skills? Do you want to start painting, lettering? Invest in a book, start reading, and start exploring. Okay, download it as an audiobook if you don't even have time to crack open the book and peruse the pages. But I'm touchy-feely. I need to have the book in my hand, flip the pages, look through the illustrations. So that's my second recommendation is start reading. Grab a book that speaks to you. Okay, third one. I would look at online classes, workshops, or even live conferences. So I know with what's happening in the world right now with COVID, we can't exactly be in person, but there are so many live conferences that I've even been a part of that are amazing, an amazing way for you to learn, for you to connect with other people, for you to ask questions to get directed if you haven't found the information that you need exactly. Online classes are a really great way that you can invest a little bit of money, get some instruction, and put in a little bit of practice. Okay. And you can control how much you want to spend, how much time you want to spend, and even get very detailed and finite with the topics that you want to learn. Okay. So invest in online classes, workshops, and even live conferences. So those are my three best tips to hopefully have you inspired to never stop learning. Always be curious, always grow, always learn, and think about doing things that make you happy. So maybe you've decided to learn something that is for your own personal use, your own personal satisfaction. Dive into that topic and really enjoy it. Okay? That's it. Today's a really short episode. I just wanted to hopefully inspire you to continue to grow your interests, grow who you are, have fun, and explore some new hobbies and ideas. You'll be surprised where it leads to. I always sort of start with a topic and then fall into this deep dive of a rabbit hole, and it's amazing after you've spent a month, 2 months, 6 months into a topic to see how far you've come. So hopefully that's challenging you. Pick something that you love that speaks to you. And in 6 months, take a look back to see how much you've grown, how much you've learned, and how much you've applied. Okay, let me know about it. I hope you're enjoying these podcasts and are inspired to take some action, try something new, and just to find some joy in the creativity. As always, please share if you've enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you think. If you rate us on wherever you listen to podcasts, so whether it's Spotify or Apple, it really helps us get the word out. And it's been really fun so far planning these episodes. But if there are topics that you're specifically interested in, I want to hear about them. You can send me an email directly. It's Nicki@lifeidesign.com and let me know what you want to hear more of. Thanks again for tuning in. Happy creativity, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one.